I wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of starseeds.
Okay.
So I'll tell you a quick little story of mine. When I was 6 years old, I was sitting in a movie theater watching the movie Superman, and the beginning of the movie shows Superman as a baby, and his parents are putting him in this little space pod, and he's being sent to Earth. And so it shows kind of this trial of him, of the journey to Earth. There's loud noises, and the baby's crying, and flames or something. I forget exactly. In the course of watching this, I was flooded with this memory that I had experienced something similar to this. Not in this lifetime, of course, but sometime previously. So I guess this would be, a confirmation of that starseed reality.
When we use the word starseed, most of us are not talking about the same thing, which is always the issue. You're on the same page about what we mean relative to starseed is an issue, because for many people, you've had a previous life on extraterrestrial planets, which by that standard, everyone is a starseed.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So I guess there are different waves, like you've said that you're indigo. Go ahead.
Okay, so what we really mean when those of us who are not talking in that way speak of a starseed, what it means is that humanity has been asking for answers which extraterrestrial beings contain those answers to, most like teachers. And so what will happen is that an extraterrestrial being will choose to come down and either project forth the image, kind of like a holographic image, that the human mind can't participate and can't perceive any difference between the hologram of the projection of human and something that is physically incarnated as human.
I see.
So it won't seem like anyone else to the physical senses. Whereas if you go to the fourth dimensional reality of that particular person, it will be vacuous.
How do you mean? What would be vacuous?
You will not see the fourth dimensional representation of that being will be more like a telegraph image than it will be like a ghost. And then the further you trace back, you'll see this forking where suddenly you're standing not in front of your friend, but you're standing in front of an extraterrestrial being.
Okay.
So it's that the extraterrestrial has chosen to come down, project forth the image of a physical human body, or else directly feed their consciousness so as to create an actual physical being in utero, but that the consciousness of the extraterrestrial being is still feeding through to the physical human perspective. So you remember how I told you about multiple consciousness streams?
Yep.
When we say starseed, what we mean is that there's a consciousness stream that is feeding the perspective of the physical human, which is extraterrestrial in nature.
Okay, so that's
yours is Pleiadian.
What's that?
And yours is Pleiadian.
That was going to be one of my questions, and I'm not at all surprised to hear that. Thank you.
Yes.
Very cool. I've read a lot of the Pleiadian material and definitely have felt a resonance there for sure.
I simply need to read it to know it.
What's that?
I'm teasing you a bit. I said I simply need to read it to know it. All of this stuff you're already encoded with and you're intended to teach, obviously, which is why I used the aforementioned scenario.
Yep. Awesome. Very cool. So,
would you believe that we were colleagues?
That we're colleagues? Absolutely. Do you want to expand on that in any further sense?
Okay. Well, before we came into this physical dimension, both of us worked for the same organization. The only way to describe this particular organization is by saying that it's almost like the human's version of Greenpeace. So the Greenpeace organization, let's say that they take an interest in saving whales.
Yeah.
There will be many people from the human race that are there trying to save this other species, or come in as sort of the answer to the asking of the whales. And that's how this has worked. We work for an organization that is oriented towards enabling expansion wherever that is occurring within the universe, in accordance with our understanding of oneness. The same way that many humans are in alignment with peace. So
Yeah.
you could consider us activists of sort from other places who come here in answer to the asking of species that are struggling in their desire to align with their own expansion. So when we have the answers, we show up.
Cool. And so this was kind of a
Going balls deep in the program is what they call it.
Yes. So we were somewhere in some other realm talking about, yep, sounds like Earth is asking for some assistance here. What can we do?
Not were, are.
Yep. Gotcha. Awesome.
I think this is actually part of why you had that understanding that if you went out of body, you'd be ungrounded in the third dimension.
Yep. You mean just because I needed to put my attention more on bringing that reality into this realm?
Yes, because you're currently focused on multiple different lives, you see.
Uh-huh.
So the consciousness stream, when we were talking earlier about source, there's streams within source energy. The stream which is within source energy that you could call your higher self is currently focused forth into an extraterrestrial life form.
You mean in this physical body?
No, not in this physical body. In another body that's simultaneously living. And that particular being chose to project forth its consciousness because from a fifth dimensional reality, it is not difficult to imagine, to understand that it works like this. You focus and it immediately manifests.
Yeah, because that's how it happens there in a much quicker way.
Yes, and so they can make it happen here in that way.
Gotcha.
So you were an idea projected forth from an extraterrestrial life form in this life, which is why I was laughing. The memory of being put in a spacecraft is
I see.
not from another life.
Not from another life.
No.
So, okay.
It's a combination of knowing. It's a combination of the memory of having been on many sophisticated spacecrafts, because the Pleiadians are very known for their spacecrafts. The combination of that memory coupled with the memory that you came here specifically for that reason to the human race. And that did not happen via spaceship, but it happened via projection through the dimensions.
Gotcha. So you mean this could have occurred, I could have actually experienced this as a baby.
Did.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Wow, trippy.
Out of curiosity, do you remember having any kinds of issues when you were a child?
Oh yeah. I mean, going to school and stuff. I just could not get into that, that frame of mind. I had, my share of sort of breakdowns and I remember.
I consider that human, but out of curiosity, have you talked to your parents at all about whether you ever had a near-death experience as a child? What was your birth like?
As far as I know, it was fine. It was here in Canada. That's why I'm able to work up here. I'm from California, so I was born in Vancouver. And so you mean a near-death experience at some point in my childhood? It's not coming to mind at the moment.
Because what you'll see one of two things when people are experiencing the kind of consciousness that you are. Either this consciousness of this extraterrestrial being chooses to come in and participate at a time of duress, when one entity that is there, one source stream, chooses to opt out and the other one chooses to opt in. We call that a walking.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, the other option is what I'm doing, which is they call an incarnation, meaning that it is the extraterrestrial being which chooses to focus hard enough that focus is what creates the sperm and the egg and all that stuff. And so the extraterrestrial being is conscious for a life, delivery and pregnancy and everything.
I see.
But it is quite rare, though, for those who come in that way to not have full memory of being in the uterus, delivery, the whole thing. Which is why I was testing your memory relative to whether the body you're in currently experienced the death.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't, I definitely feel to some extent as if I may have just blocked out these things in order to be able to handle, 3D reality better.
Highly likely.
Yep.
Am I stretching you too far?
Oh, not at all. This is really what I was hoping for.